How's everybody doing? Welcome to Tinkering with Harleys. Today we're gonna show you how to remove an inner race off a main shaft on a transmission. And I'm gonna show you the way I do it. Now, I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do it. I'm not saying my way is any better than some of the other ways, like using die grinders and things like that. I don't do that. I've done it in the past and found out there's an easier way to do it. But before we get to that, I want to thank everybody who subscribed. I love the comments you guys are putting in and the questions you're asking. Tells me that I am helping people, and that was the whole purpose of me starting these videos is to help guys who haven't done stuff like this before or haven't done it in a long time, because these bikes have changed over the years. And if you are watching these videos and you enjoy them, by all means, please subscribe. Now, for this project, for removing the inner race, there's only one specialty tool that you need. And that is this. This is an inner race removal tool. Now, you can pick these up. Harley Davidson sells them. They're real expensive there. You can pick them up on Amazon and any number of places. But this, if you're going to do the inner race, is a must-have. Now that one I've had a very, very long time, and I've done an awful lot of these over the years. So the way I'm going to show you is the way I found to be the easiest for myself. Now, the one that you're going to see me remove, the transmission is on the bench. Now you can do this, remove the race while it's on the bike. You don't need to pull the trans out. The only reason I have the trans on the bench is I'm rebuilding the transmission, so that's why it's on the bench. But you can do this while it's on the bike. So enough said, let's get to it. Okay, now we're going to get ready to pull this race off, this inner race off for the main shaft. Now, these things are notorious for walking in or being installed too tight. And I've seen all kinds of different methods used to take these off. I've seen guys use die grinders and chisels and stuff. There's a much easier way to do that. And what you do is you lock the transmission in gear. You slide the shifter forks. And I'll show you here. Once you lock it into gear, you put your wrench on this, loosen this up, and take it out a little bit, leave the nut on it, and then give it a couple of shots with a rubber mallet. And what it'll do, it'll move the main shaft out, which will allow you access to getting under here with your tool and getting that out. And that way you're not risking, because this is a tight area here, you don't want to damage this main shaft at all. And using a die grinder or a chisel, you're probably going to damage it at some point. So that's the easiest way I have found in order to perform this. So we'll get to it right now. But you're working in such a close area in here, you really don't want to get in there with a hammer and chisel. You're going to damage the shaft. And like I said, this is the fastest way I found is if you run into that problem. Now we're in there. And I'll just run these up tight. By hand. Hadn't gone all the way in. Okay, there it is right there. Now it's completely inside that race. So all we have to do is get our wrench on here and take this off, and we'll see how tight it is. Now, this one's got some wear on it. It's been in there for a while. And sometimes if they're a little bit difficult to pull out, you just apply a little bit of heat to them. If you're doing this on the bench like I am, you don't have the benefit of it being locked into the frame. So you need to use one of these. This is for the pulley. It'll hold the pulley down while you're cranking on things, and it'll keep it from moving, supposedly. And what you want to do is you want to get a piece of wood under there, like that. And you can see that race just inching out of there. And this way we're not damaging the shaft at all. We're just getting a nice even pull. We don't even need this. And this one's coming off easy. This one's not bad at all. Yeah, she's just about off. When she slips past that shoulder, there it is. Okay, now you've seen how I pull an inner race off a main shaft. Now, I've done an awful lot of these over the years, and this is without question the easiest way I've ever found. Now, if you're doing this on the bike, there is absolutely no need to pull that clutch actuator cover off to get to the main shafts. If your race isn't run in and you can get your tool underneath that race to pull it out, there's no need to remove that. But if it has run inside where you can't get the lip of that race puller in there, then you just take the actuator cover off. You drain the oil first, otherwise you're going to wind up with oil all over the place if you take the actuator cover off without draining the oil. And just tap it with a rubber mallet, the main shaft. Loosen up the nut and tap it with a mallet. You're not going to hurt the transmission at all. And that will give you enough room to get that tool up underneath that race so you can pull it out. And you have no chance of damaging anything. Oil and a gasket is a hell of a lot cheaper than a main shaft. So, I mean, given the two, I do it, this is why I do it this way. And actually, it's faster than using a die grinder. You just drop the oil out, you pull the actuator cover off, you crack the nut on the main shaft, give it a couple of whacks with a mallet. It moves that shaft out so you can get underneath it and you can pull the race with no problem. Just remember, when you loosen that main shaft up, retighten it and retorque it. So that'll pretty much do it for today. Once again, thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. If you're watching these videos and you're enjoying them, by all means subscribe and keep the comments coming. I like them. I read every one of them and I respond to every one of them. So that's going to pretty much do it again. So everybody be safe out there.